That means we're in our Southern Union State Community College kitchen, and joining us today is Chef Monique Williams from the Cheesecake Empori-Yum. 2 desserts in one today.
Yes, so we're making a pound cake cheesecake, 2 wonderful classics. We're molding it together. We have already made our cheesecake batter.
Now we're making
the pound cake batter. Now we have already mixed the sugar and the butter together. Just a little side note, let's make sure that butter is softened before we start trying to mix it.
How long does that take? I've heard some people say you could set it out in the morning if you plan to bake in the afternoon.
Yeah, and it's just fine. Now, if you're in a hurry, then what you do is you get a little glass bowl, put a little hot water in a glass bowl, heat it up in your microwave for like a minute or 2, and then dump the water and then stick kind of like a little dome for your sticks of butter.
Yeah. Yes.
But you know, we try not to cheat too much, but if you need to, it's an option for those in a rush. Now next we have our eggs. We're going to put our eggs in one at a time so that we can so that they'll be well blended together.
Can you mix it up good before you put the second one?
For sure. Yeah, for sure. What we don't want is, have you ever had a dessert and there's like little yolks in it because you haven't fully blended your dessert? And you're like, what is this?
Because they didn't do one egg at a time.
One at a time. Now another way you can also rush it, honestly, if you want to scramble together and then add it, that's the rushing method. I'll give you all the rush methods.
You know we're busy. We're trying to save time.
You're like, I mixed egg, microwave butter. So as you can see, the butter has been infused together with the eggs. It's all nicely mixed together. Now next we have our flour. And you have the option of sifting it and non-sifting it. I usually just use cake flour if I'm in a lazy mood and don't want to sift it. But you can use all-purpose flour. Most pound cakes are baked with that. And then you just add it in there. I like to add in half of the flour and then
at a time.
Half of the butter, half of the milk together.
That's just whole milk.
Just regular whole milk. I'm a fan of whole milk. I'm not quite sure if this recipe is going to work with any almond milk or oat milk, but you know what? You can try it.
You can try it and see.
You can try it. I'm a fan of trying things. Yes.
Let us know what happens.
So as you can see,
with our spatula, we can scrape down the sides.
Oh, for sure. So this is now mixing well together. I'm going to lift this up. Would you like to be my scrape captain?
I will be your I'm a good scraper.
This used to be my favorite thing to do when I was a kid with my mom.
Because you feel like you're really helping. It's a great way to get the kids involved.
Yes, for sure.
My favorite
you just have to remind them. Don't be
licking the bowl.
The licking of the bowl. Sometimes my mom will let me. Sometimes my mom would not let me.
Okay.
I think it depends on the day. Oh, you're fine.
So
next,
the rest in?
Yep, rest in. We're still going to add this milk in.
So if you don't have something to sift it, I've heard you can just use a fork.
Yes, you can use a fork. I've used that before.
Giving you all the little tips and tricks today here. This is really an easy recipe.
It honestly
pound cake is.
Yes.
And yummy.
Look, it's super classic. It just reminds me of just being in the South, period. Just a nice pound cake.
So is this kind of like our crust for the cheesecake?
Yes, so it's going to be like our crust for the cheesecake. You can also add a crust if you want to get a little fancy. Like a vanilla wafer crust I think would be really great. Maybe like a lemon cookie crust might be great. I would probably not do a graham cracker crust only because of the cinnamon in it, and I think that takes away from your pound cake.
Yes.
Yeah, so stick away from that, but there you go. We have our extract, lemon and vanilla, and that's our final step. And then this is going to mix together so that it kind of looks like a little bit cake-like. And then you just put a little bit at the bottom. We're going to spread it out evenly. Next, you do your cream. You just do cheesecake.
Your cheesecake right on top.
Yep, cheesecake right on top. And then finally, you're going to take a little bit of the remaining of the pound cake mixture and dollop it on top. Get you a nice, cute little swirl going on with a fork or a knife. And then you're going to bake it in our preheated oven at 350.
For how long?
90 minutes. I know 90 minutes seems like a long time, but you have pound cake and cheesecake together, so you're going to have to take your time. Everything needs to cook together.
Yeah. Good things come to those who wait.
That is very true.
So I noticed that you wrapped your springform pan with some foil.
Yes. Now this helps so that when you're baking it, it bakes evenly. Now, you can also put it in a water bath.
I was going to ask you, see a lot of folks put their cheesecake in a water bath.
That also helps it with baking more evenly so that it doesn't fall. I usually don't really have that problem.
It's a lot simpler. So again, just most of that pound cake batter.
Right on the bottom.
Cheesecake on top.
Cheesecake batter.
And
The rest
little
of
dollops.
it.
And swirl.
Swirl.
Easy as that. And then we get to taste it. Coming
There you
in
go.
just a minute. You put a little icing on top.
Oh yeah, that's super easy.
Yes.
Just a little bit of heavy cream, a little bit of confectioner's sugar, add it together. If you want to add like different, I've had people add Jell-O mix to it for different flavorings. So now you have a strawberry one, a lemon one, an orange one, a key lime one.
That sounds good. Nice and fresh for the spring.
Yes.
I love that.
Lots of possibilities.